Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the more exciting regional jets flying today, the Embraer E190-E2. We'll explore what makes it special, its technical strengths, real-world performance, cost factors, and what its future looks like. Let's get started. Imagine a regional jet that combines the flexibility of a smaller airplane with efficiency approaching that of larger jets. That's the promise of the E190-E2. It's part of Embraer's E2 second-generation family of E-jets, a redesign and upgrade over the original E-jets, sometimes called E1. Embraer launched the E2 program in 2013, targeting cleaner engines, updated aerodynamics, and improved operating economics. The E190-E2 retains roughly the same fuselage size as the older E190, but nearly everything else has been reworked. The wings are more efficient, aerodynamic features refined, and the engines replaced with Pratt Whitney PW1900G geared turbofans. These new engines operate at a higher bypass ratio, which helps reduce fuel burn, noise, and emissions. In testing, Embraer claims a double-digit percentage improvement in fuel consumption and maintenance costs over previous generation jets. Let's talk capacity and layout. In a single-class configuration, you can seat up to 114 passengers. In a dual-class layout it might seat somewhere around 97. The cabin is arranged in a 2x2 layout, that means no middle seats, which is a big win for passenger comfort compared to many narrow bodies. On the performance side, the E190-E2's typical maximum range is about 2,950 nautical miles, roughly 5,463 kilometers under ideal conditions. This gives it flexibility to serve longer regional routes without major constraints. The aircraft cruises at speeds around Mach 0.82, or near 870 km per hour in level flight. The maximum service ceiling is about 41,000 feet. The engines on the E190-E2 are rated at thrust levels in the range of about 20,860 pounds-force, and higher variants go up. The PW1900G series used by this jet is optimized for efficiency, lower specific fuel consumption, and reduced noise footprint compared to older turbofan engines. In terms of weights, the maximum takeoff weight and other structural numbers vary with configuration, but the E2 family overall was designed with enhanced structural strength and improved weight efficiency. By adopting advanced materials and refining structural components, Embraer managed to keep the empty weight reasonable while boosting payload potential. From the perspective of economics, the improvements aren't just marketing. The lower fuel consumption, reduced maintenance burden, and better dispatch reliability directly translate into lower cost per seat. Airlines that operate regional and thin routes can benefit especially, since the E190-E2 can compete on more marginal routes that larger jets cannot serve profitably. One interesting aspect is that earlier in the program, Embraer found that the initial engine combustor life was shorter than expected, and some retrofits or updates were required. But over time, these have been addressed, and the aircraft has matured. The type certifications were granted in February 2018 by Brazilian, US and European authorities. The first deliveries began in April 2018, when Widerøe, a Norwegian regional carrier, became the launch operator. As for cost, earlier reported list prices for the E190-E2 have ranged around $53.6 million in earlier years, for example in 2013. But list prices are almost never what airlines ultimately pay. Discounts and contracting terms shift that. Some media sources have cited about $60 million as a benchmark. In the modern airline market, the E190-E2 continues to win orders. For example, Virgin Australia recently placed orders for E190-E2 jets, set to join its fleet from late 2025, especially for regional and charter operations. And it's part of what gives Embraer strong demand in the regional jet space. Because the E190-E2 is already in service, there is no future release or 2026 version as such. The model is mature and operational. What might evolve are incremental upgrades, avionics refreshes, newer variants, or alternative engine improvements. In short, the E190-E2 is not coming, it's already flying in commercial service. Turning to design elements, the E2 family features a clean, efficient wing with higher aspect ratio and winglets or swept tips to reduce induced drag. The aerodynamic refinements extend to control surfaces, fuselage fairings, pylon design, and overall drag reduction. The cockpit includes modern avionics and flight control systems, Embraer adopted or updated fly-by-wire elements, digital flight systems, and advanced monitoring and health management systems. The maintenance and operational support ecosystem is also more advanced than before, with better diagnostics, predictive maintenance tools, and data analytics helping airlines optimize uptime. Passengers benefit from a nicer cabin experience as well. Because the layout is 2-to-2, boarding and movement through aisles are better. The cabin systems include modern lighting, pressurization, ventilation, and improved acoustic insulation. The absence of a middle seat helps reduce passenger density and enhances comfort. In terms of limitations, real-world range will depend on load, winds, reserves, and airport performance constraints. On hot days or high-altitude airports the performance margin shrinks. Also, while the E190-E2 is quite efficient, it competes with other modern regional and small narrow-body jets like the Airbus A220 or even used narrow-bodies in many markets. Its economics must fit route structure, demand, airport infrastructure, and airline fleet strategy. So, for your video, you could structure the narrative like this: start with the problem space, how many regional jets are inefficient or constrained, then introduce the E190-E2 as a solution, walk through the technicals: engine, aerodynamics, performance, then cost and economics, then passenger and operational experience, then real-world adoption and limitations, then conclude with what's next. That gives your viewers a full picture from layman understanding to deeper technical insight.